Hey, this is Antonio. Welcome back to my channel. We're going to have some fighting words. But before we go any further, as always, I need for you to like this video, circulate, and subscribe to this video. Well, we've all seen the press conference. Today was the weigh-in, and Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, if this fight is half of what the build-up has been, we're all in for a treat. It got pretty heated. Every time these two are together, it gets heated. So it's nothing new for it to get heated with these two in a room. Once again, this fight definitely this time around has a certain feel to it. If you look at Deontay Wilder, his disposition is a lot more cool, calm, collected. He keeps talking about he's having his mindset is very violent. But if you look at his demeanor, very relaxed, very calm. You know, when Mike Tyson was coming back, to fight Roy Jones, he said that he was doing sparring, but he's in his 50s, and he said, I got hit while I was sparring, and it was Joe Rogan who was interviewing him, and he said, well, what did you feel when after many years you haven't sparred in I don't know how long, and then you get hit? How does that make you feel? And Tyson said, like I belong. Deontay Wilder is looking like he belongs. Deontay Wilder is carrying himself like he belongs. Deontay Wilder is showing this is champion mentality, what we're seeing. Now, I don't know what's going to happen in the fight. I do not know. I am picking Deontay Wilder. It's funny so they both weigh in. Let me just get to that first. So Deontay Wilder, he weighs in at 238. And Tyson Fury comes in at 277. So both of the guys are bigger. Deontay Wilder by 8 pounds from the last fight, and Tyson Fury by 7 pounds from the last fight. And when asked why he came in so much bigger, Deontay Wilder said exactly what I mentioned in my fight breakdown. So of course, I'm happy for that. Got to pay attention. So that's why I'm happy for that. He said, because the way he fights, he's going to start holding me and grabbing me. And he's like, I need to be able to break him off. I have to be stronger because I know that distance is going to close. And that's so true. In this fight, I'm telling you, the distance is going to be a huge thing because you don't want to be at a distance with Deontay Wilder because he needs that gap to fire off that right hand. But at the same time, Fury's going to close this thing. He's going to close the distance, and he's going to grapple you. And Deontay Wilder said, I don't want him leaning on me and taking the wind out of me. Just leaning on a guy takes a lot out of him, as I mentioned in that video. And, he's just coming prepared for that. So basically, like I said in the video, he put on the bulk and the strength and, the muscle so that he could break out of that clinch, create space where he works best so he could fire off his missiles. And that's exactly why he put it on. That's exactly why he's bigger. That's exactly why in the weigh-in he was saying, yeah, I've been benching over 300 pounds just so I can do that. No other purpose. It's not for my physique. It's not to look sexy or anything like that. Although he did say he was looking sexy, but it's not for that purpose. It's to break free of the clinch that I know he's going to put me in, and then I'll have space to work and work at a distance where best fits me, best fits my fighting style. So that's why he did it. Now I want to talk about Tyson Fury, who seemed extremely animated, who seemed extremely annoyed, who once again, has to get the last word. And he's talking about, I'm going to do something violent. I'm going to send him to, your pretty wife in pieces and all this stuff. And it's funny because, again, I said his disposition in the presser, that last presser this week, he was a little out of himself. So early in the presser, he says, I just want to win a fight. And then in the end, he's like getting on Wilder for, the accusations that we're not going to get into. As always, I've been steering clear of that, and I'm going to continue to do that. But then, again, today, after the weigh-in, he's just like, he's talking about Wilder's wife. I'm going to send him home to you like this. And Wilder, once again, is on the other side, not fazed, cool, calm, and collected. I mean, something is in the air in terms of there's There's just a feeling of something new. Listen, I'm not saying because Theory is doing this. Theory has never been short of confidence, ever, like ever. I think he was birthed singing, coming out of the womb or something like that. But what I am saying is, I haven't seen him this personal. Tyson Fury is Tyson Fury. He talks a lot of smack. Tyson Fury is Tyson Fury. His smack talk goes up when the level of opponent can't match him there, which is why you see what he did to Vladimir Klitschko. Couldn't match him there, and Tyson ran circles around him. Deontay Wilder is technically the first guy to get to fight Fury and actually go tit for tat with the words. He's technically the first one. I mean, we all know when, because it will happen one day, Tyson Fury fights AJ. AJ is going to be quiet as a mouse. He just doesn't do it. I think it just takes too much out of him. So I don't think he'll do that. But yeah, there's something different in the air. I got to go with Deontay Wilder. It's just a gut feeling, and it's weird because I feel like a lot of people are starting to get on this side. And when I say a lot of people, I'm not talking about like casuals or anything. I'm talking about people who actually box are actually getting on the side like, you know what, this does feel a little different. You know what, he has been looking pretty good in those people. It's funny. A lot of people say, it's easy to look good on pads, but show me somebody in a bag. It's pretty much the same thing. The only difference, I just want to clear this up, a little kind of a sidebar, but I just want to clear this up. It's technically the same thing. The only difference with somebody in pads is you're somebody directing traffic. And when you're in a bag, you're just being creative. You're freestyling. That's it. That's it. That's it. Movement is movement. That's it. It's just somebody's kind of choreographing or leading the dance, because that individual is actually holding the pads. And when you're hitting a bag, you're just freestyling. But that's it. Just because, I've heard a lot of people say, well, that doesn't mean anything because he hit some pads. Well, the same can be said if you hit the bag. It doesn't mean anything if you hit a bag. Technically, unless you get in there and you spar, nothing means anything. And then you have to spar a certain level of competition, a level of opponent for it to mean even more. Like if I were to get in there with a 77-year-old man with one leg, what does that mean? But if I get in there with a 25-year-old who has a stellar amateur record, well, that means something. So I really don't get a lot of people saying things like that, because a lot of people have been trying to discredit Wilder, saying, well, he's hitting, everybody looks good on the pads. Yeah, but we were talking about a guy who typically before on the pads, like 2 years ago when we would see him on pads, it was basically jab, jab, right hand, jab, jab, right hand. Literally, it was basically jab, jab, right hand. So yeah, he definitely looks better. He's definitely moving better. And so that's another thing about training. When you train and you've trained, your confidence is up. But sometimes when you train and your confidence is up, you're more relaxed because you know what you've been doing. You know the amount and the level of dedication that you put into it. And like I said, there's something in the air. He definitely just seems, I just can't get over his demeanor. He's very, very, very calm, very relaxed. Even after the weigh-in, Fury's just talking, and Wilder's like, yeah, just take off your shirt, though. Basically what he's saying is, yeah, you're bigger, but that's fat. Mine is muscle. I've been benching 300 pounds. Yours is fat. That's really what he's hinting at. Not really what he's hinting at. That's what he's saying. So it's different. It's different on both sides, because this would, to me, I feel like this is the first time anybody's ever really pissed off Tyson Fury. This is the first time that I've seen where Tyson is just annoyed with an opponent, and it's personal. And he can say whatever he wants, but every time he talks and every time he gets the last word, he's talking about how he wants to hurt Deontay Wilder, how it's going to be Deontay Wilder's last fight, how he's going to have to retire after this fight, how his career is finished. That's personal talk. That's not competition talk. That's personal talk. So this is going to be a good fight. I cannot wait. And, yeah, I'm already getting like jitters and everything. You know how you just want to see the fight. You just like all the talk is done. It's funny because here's the thing throughout a whole fight camp and a press conference. We're brought through everything with the individuals. So the same way they're just ready to fight, we're ready to see the fight. We've heard the talk. We know the backstory. We've heard the allegations. We've heard the responses to the allegations. You know everything. We know everything. We've seen how they've been training. Now it's time to get into it. So, like I said, I'm excited. I want to see this. Like I said, that's my prediction. I believe Wilder is going to win. I do believe it's going to be. You know, it's hard to put Fury to say Fury is going to get knocked out. Fury, the first Wilder fight is not the first time Fury's been on his back. So, one thing I know about the guy is his will to win is extremely high, extremely strong, durable. Do I think it's gonna? I would probably go with a TKO, other than a knockout. You know, unless Wilder can render Fury unconscious, which I believe he can. 238-pound Deontay Wilder throwing that right hand can pretty much more than likely render anything. Could probably render a rock unconscious at this point. Not to mention with what he's holding in his heart for Fury, I don't know. But I'm definitely saying this is my prediction. Number one, is not going to the distance. It's not. I do not believe that. Number two, I do believe there will be multiple knockdowns. And number three, I believe Wilder will be the victor. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know if you can put Fury out. I don't know if you can put Fury out. That might be a stretch. Will he put Fury down? Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe he will put Fury down. I don't know if he can put him out, though. Don't know if he can put him out. So, multiple knockdowns, yes. Not going the distance, no. I think a stretch for this fight is going to be round 7, round 8. And I do believe Deontay Wilder will be the victor. That's what I believe for this fight. That is my fight prediction. And I'll be seeing you soon. You know the drill. Drop a comment down below. Please circulate this video. And please continue to comment and ask questions and have a dialogue with me. I'm really enjoying that. But as always, like and subscribe.